I hung up on my best friend when she called me from the emergency room. I was standing in front of 12 investors when my phone lit up with Mia's name for the 16th time, and I rejected the call again. Mia had been pulling this crap for months now, calling me for emergencies at every hour. Last week she'd called me sobbing about chest pains at 2 in the morning, and I'd broken every speed limit getting to her apartment only to find her downing Pepto-Bismol because she'd eaten an entire package of Atomic Wings on a dare from some guy she met at trivia night. The month before that, she made me leave my cousin's wedding reception because of a twisted ankle that miraculously healed the second I paid for her $40 Uber home from her terrible Tinder date. Today my phone buzzed with "Emergency room, need you now," while I was mid-sentence explaining our revenue projections to the people who could save my company from bankruptcy. I glanced at my boss, whose jaw was clenched so tight I could see the muscle twitching, then at the lead investor, who was already checking his watch like he had somewhere better to be. My phone buzzed again with "Can't believe you're not already here," and something inside me just snapped. I switched my phone completely off, slid it into my pocket, and continued explaining why our startup deserved their $3 million. My part of the presentation ended, and my phone practically exploded with hundreds of notifications when I turned it back on. Mia had sent walls of texts about how I was a monster, a fake friend, the worst person she'd ever trusted. Her mom left me a voicemail saying she was disappointed in the person I'd become, and that Mia was scared and alone. 3 different people sent screenshots of Mia's social media post about being abandoned in her darkest hour, complete with a photo of her IV drip. The comment section was destroying me. Trash, karma's coming, hope you die alone. I excused myself to the bathroom and called the hospital directly, while the investors discussed our proposal in the conference room. The nurse confirmed Mia was admitted but couldn't say why, and my blood turned to ice because what if this time was real? What if she was dying while I played corporate PowerPoint princess? I splashed cold water on my face, walked back in, and tried to focus on their questions, but my answers came out jumbled and wrong. The lead investor asked if everything was alright, and I lied through my teeth. The second they said they'd be in touch, I grabbed my keys and ran to my car. The 20-minute drive felt like hours, my brain spinning through tumors and accidents and internal bleeding, and all the ways I was about to become the friend who wasn't there when it actually mattered. I burst through the hospital doors and took the stairs 2 at a time because the elevator was too slow for my guilt. The door to room 302 was half open, and I could see Mia propped up in bed, very much alive, angling her phone to catch the best light for a selfie with her hospital bracelet. She saw me, and her whole face changed, this practiced look of betrayal sliding into place. "Oh, now you show up," she announced loud enough for 2 nurses in the hallway to turn and stare at me like I was something stuck to the bottom of their shoes. She started ranting about dying alone while I chased money, but the doctor walked in with discharge papers, and I cut her off to ask what exactly had brought her to the emergency room. The doctor's face was completely blank when he said she presented with severe stomach cramping from consuming 3 cans of sweetened condensed milk, and some out of a shot glass. The silence in that room was so thick you could have cut it with a scalpel, and one of the nurses actually snorted. Mia's face turned red as she scrambled to explain that some guy at the bar bet her $50, then another guy offered double or nothing, then a third guy wanted in, so obviously she had to go for the $150, except they all left while she was throwing up in the bathroom. The nurse by the door muttered something about wasting emergency resources, and Mia snapped, "I could have died." The doctor's eye twitched as he said, "You induced vomiting from overconsumption, not anaphylaxis." She looked right at me and said, "A real friend would have come anyway." I told Mia to delete my number and walked out while she shrieked about how everyone would know what kind of person I was. By the time I got home, half our friend group had blocked me, the other half sent messages about how cold and heartless I was. My boss texted that we'd gotten the full $3 million, and my section of the presentation had sealed the deal, and I laughed until I cried because I'd almost thrown away the biggest opportunity of my career to watch Mia get her stomach pumped over a bar bet she didn't even win.